As an adult, the two highest forms of currency that I think that we hold within ourselves are our time and our energy. So to have watched this show for 23 weeks, 23 episodes, to get to the reunion and to find out that the cast, both the men and the women, have been strategizing, have been plotting, have been scheming, have been manipulating not only each other, but the process and the experts and us as viewers, also they could make it to the end, is insulting, it's annoying, and every single person on this cast can kiss my. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy, Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 24, Denver Reunion, Part 1. Okay, so what we found out on this reunion, on the first part of this reunion, is everybody is lying, okay? Everybody is a liar. I feel like, aside from Chloe, but even then, I feel like it's very hard to trust anybody on this cast when we find out that everybody has been plotting and scheming and basically working together. And then it just feels like some of the people just went off the beaten path. So if we find out that Cameron and his little fake health scare, it's not fake, let me stop. Cameron and his health scare, now he's saying he's fine. Some of the comments that he's made when they're checking on him and where they're asking him, "Oh, are you okay? How are you feeling?" "Oh, I'll live, I'll survive." But earlier in the season, when asked about his health scare, when asked about his condition, was acting as if he couldn't say more than 25 words without having a gasp for air, and he's clutching his heart and he's doing all of this. And I'm not making light of his situation by any means. But it's very convenient that when he was trying to get over on the public, when he was trying to get over on everybody and make it seem as if he had to take a step back and, oh, he's getting so overstimulated and this is not good for me. It's very rich to me that now at the reunion, "Oh, I'll survive. I'm fine. We're not clutching of the heart. We're not gasping for breath. We're not doing any of that." Emily says she is healing well. This is her first day without her cast on. Good for her. The ladies are all wearing pink in solidarity. Solidarity of what exactly, when we find out that y'all were all a part, y'all were all in cahoots with the men. See, what I think happened is I think a lot of these couples came in, they realized they didn't like each other day one or day two. So what they decided to do is, let's get together. We're going to go along to get along to get to the end. Whether there is a monetary prize or not, I don't know. That still remains to be seen. But I think these couples said, we're going to go along to get along. We're going to get as far as into the process as we can. We're going to use this, that, and the other as our issues with each other. And I think these women caught feelings halfway through. And because the women caught feelings, they expected the men to shift what was supposed to be the original plan. I think once the women caught their feelings, they deviated from what the plan was supposed to be. Everybody is lying. I don't trust anybody on this cast. They all got on pink. Chloe said, "I'm not a part of their little she-man." Is it she-man? Is that even the right word? I'm not a part of their man bashing. Woe is me. Oh my God, life is so hard, whatever. So she came out in purple. The tension is crazy, right? I think it's unfortunate, it's disappointing, it's childish that y'all can't even sit by your exes for the purpose of the reunion. I think this is the very first reunion that I have watched, and I've been watching since season 8. I think I've been watching since season 8, where the spouses, the exes, can't even sit next to each other. Everybody's gaslighting everybody on this stage. It's like, it's so, like, you cannot tell who's lying and who's telling the truth. Because any given moment, you might say, yeah, I feel like Cameron is lying, but then it's like, damn, but Claire look guilty AF, but Cameron is smirking every time he talks, and Cameron keeps looking down, which it's a tell for him. He looks down and he smirks when he's lying. So, like, who are we supposed to believe? It's frustrating and it's irritating as a viewer. It is. So they talk about the diary cams and how, remember, it came up that Brennan was telling Emily to delete the diary cams. He was like, was I telling you to, or was I just asking you to? Either way, it was from your mouth that she deleted the diary cams. It's semantics, Brennan. It's semantics. Whether you are telling her, I want you to delete the diary cam, or whether you are saying, hey, can you delete the diary cam so I don't look bad? Either way, you were manipulating the process, so we as the viewers did not get a true depiction of how she felt about you. That is controlling. That is manipulative, no matter how you want to say it. Brennan then said that he just wanted the opportunity to tell his story the way that he wanted to and not let production spin a narrative on him. That is not what you get to do when you sign up for reality TV. It's not. And I'm not saying that, yes, allow production to put you in an unfortunate light, but I wholeheartedly agree with Emily. If we're doing diary cams and this is supposed to be a real process and we're supposed to be authentic with this, you wanting her to not give her authentic feelings, her authentic thoughts about what is going on in your process is crazy. It's crazy. So he then says that we live a private life, not when you sign up for a reality TV show. You don't. You gave up that right the moment you decided you wanted to come on television. The moment you decided to marry a stranger, the moment you decided to invite these cameras into your house, you gave up the right to be a private person. You gave up the right to live a private life for the next 8 weeks. So if she wants to tell everybody that your feet are musty, she's going to tell everybody that your feet are musty. If she wants to tell everybody that you talked to her crazy because she ate the last of the granola bars, she was within her right to do so. This is like this, like, I don't understand this. I don't get it. I'm confused. Brennan said that he was strategizing on how to get through the process. And it's like, Brennan, all this time you kept saying that you weren't doing anything and you were authentic and you were in this, all for you to come sit at this reunion and admit that you were strategizing on how you could get to the end. Emily, I wholeheartedly believe you were in on this and you caught feelings. Do I think that the men came up with these plots to plot and scheme? I don't know. I don't know who came up with it. But what we do know is that somebody came up with it and the other person agreed to do so. Lauren said that Orion told her on day 2 that he wanted to showcase indigenous people to the world. That was why he came onto the show. Orion looked like he was lying. So he's like, oh, and then she said that Orion said that she was just a consolation prize. I came on TV to, show off my culture, to show off the indigenous people to the world. Remember, Orion did say that all the indigenous people, he was going to have to answer to every single indigenous person in the world because of what Lauren said. Orion said, well, that's not true. I just told her I've never had a platform like this. And, I was excited about it. Why were you excited about having a platform? You signed up to get married. You didn't sign up to have a platform. So we know what your MO was. So then, apparently, Austin will plug in the cameras to have a conversation about optics. Austin just looked guilty, and that's why Austin was crying at the end of this, because Austin knew that he came in and he was trying to play a game, and I think Austin is embarrassed. Austin is like, no, I just wanted to talk about, how we were seen. Those are optics, Austin. Those are optics. Education. Kevin Frazier gets them together, and I'm so glad he said something. Y'all came on here trying to outsmart the process. In the end, y'all made all of y'all look stupid. I just kind of feel like, for me, I feel disrespected as a fan that Lifetime, that Kinetic Content, even came on here and still said, even though our cast is admitting that they plot and schemed and manipulated and strategized and did everything that you're not supposed to do in this process just to get to the finish line, we're still going to air it. We're still going to throw this into the public's face. Like, am I the only person that's offended by this? Somebody. Am I the only person that's offended by this? Am I the only person that feels like, damn, what a lack of respect for your viewers? What a lack of respect for people that spend 2 hours every week watching the show. What a lack of respect for the people that spend 2 hours watching the show, then taking notes, then filming themselves doing recaps for your show, because a lot of people don't watch anymore. They just watch the recaps. Y'all could have scrapped this reunion. Okay. I guess. Claire says she was manipulated by Cameron. I think y'all manipulated each other. I think Cameron did more lying than Claire, but Claire, you were clearly lying. Cameron said that on the wedding night, they talked about what they got versus what they wanted. He got what he wanted. Claire said she did not. Why are y'all talking about this on your wedding day? He then said on the second night of the honeymoon, Claire said she was still in love with her boyfriend. Claire looked guilty AF. She looked guilty. You looked guilty, Claire. Do I think that you got drunk and probably said that? I absolutely do. Cameron said when she said boyfriend, he took that to mean present. Claire said that's not true. She broke up with her boyfriend over a year ago, and she said that's what they talked about. She was in love with him then. I think you did say you were still in love with that boy, Claire. I do. That man, excuse me. I do. I wholeheartedly believe you said that. Do I think that you said it in the context where you were crying all night and you blurted it out to Cameron? I do not believe that it happened in that way. Cameron is a liar. And I'm sorry, but those of y'all that feel like Cameron is just 1,000% telling the truth about Claire, no. They're both lying. They're both liars. But you can tell when Cameron is lying about something. Every time he told a lie, he would smirk and then look down. He kept covering his mouth, wiping his mouth, trying to wipe the smile off his face while he said certain things. I'm sorry, but if I'm trying to air somebody out and I'm trying to tell the truth about something, no part of me is going to be smiling. No part of me is going to smile. Cameron said that this is his first experience being gaslit like this. Lauren said Cameron told her on the honeymoon that he knows what they can get out of this situation. So now we have two people. Again, I don't think Lauren wholeheartedly has no reason to lie on Cameron. There's no reason to. Cameron, in that moment, the same way that Claire looked shocked about the boyfriend thing, Cameron in that moment looked shocked that either Lauren remembered or Lauren is airing him out. Claire said that Cameron told her that all of the guys said that they did not get what they wanted on the honeymoon. Said that he told her, I know a way that we can get out of this. I believe he said that. We all saw the first day when Cameron all but ran to the plane to get away from her. Cameron, you didn't like her. Claire, you did not like him. Cameron, you didn't like her. You know how I know Cameron didn't like her? Because as a man, he didn't reach for her bag. He didn't offer to help her. Austin admits that they all agreed to just get through this as best as possible. He said that he was attracted to Becca, but I'm not anymore. Okay. I think it's odd to like, okay. Okay. So let's get to an individual package. Cameron and Claire. Claire said that she was very excited on the wedding night, said she was attracted to him. She texted her mom and her sisters because she was so excited. You might have those text messages to prove it. I don't necessarily believe Claire was as excited as she's portraying. She said she only pulled away from him when he told her that he wanted someone that was tall and slender because she herself feels she is not tall and slender. Cameron made it seem as if she's lying. He's over there. Offer him to later say, yeah, I asked for someone European and slender. She felt the need to protect herself because of his passive aggressive comments. She said that he would wake up and say, oh, I forgot you were there. So in her mind, how does that make me feel? We saw him say that though. That is on camera. We saw him say that in the episode. I mean, I can imagine, damn. Yes, that would hurt anybody's feelings. He acknowledged that, yeah, I hurt your feelings. I apologize for that. Then said that she's not telling the truth. He said that he asked for a European slender woman. That is facts. But like, I guess my whole thing is, what is she not? What is not truthful about that though, Cameron? She said that you told her that's what you asked for. What's the different adjective? Tall? You didn't care if she was tall? Cameron said that he told her he was attracted every day. Said that she told him not to say that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that Claire told you not to compliment her. She said, no, that's not what I said. You would only say that you like my ass. So, if you're constantly saying, oh, I like your ass, I love your ass, I like your ass, I love your ass, I can see how she would start to feel sexualized. How she would start to feel like, damn, you only like my ass. Stop telling me that. She said, that's what you say. That's what a guy that, is just trying to hit on you would say. Cameron is like, but I was your husband. So what? So have a little more respect for her. Do you like her face? Or do you just like her ass? Okay. They then get to talk about when he was having his health scare. Cameron said that she kept canceling on trying to visit him in the hospital. I'm going to tell you this. I wholeheartedly don't believe this. Unless production gave Claire a hell of an edit. We saw her all but get on our nerves with her constantly calling him. We hear him through the phone saying, don't worry about it. You don't have to come. You don't have to call. Shout out to Usher. I'm all right, girl. You don't have to call. It's okay, girl. I'm going to be all right tonight. That's what Cameron was telling her. We saw it. She once again says he's lying. I feel like Claire might have canceled once because something came up or whatever the case. And I feel like Cameron is the type of person, to me, that takes the smallest thing and blows it up to hold it over your head. That man is manipulative. The same way that people think Claire is manipulative, Cameron is as well. They're both lying on each other. Cameron said, K-Phrase said, you know what, are you okay? Because should you be getting riled up? The way that Cameron looked at him and was like, I'm fine. I'll survive. Condescending AF. Because again, during the season, you were, oh, my heart, I'm doing too much talking. I have to stop. That's what you were doing. The 1 month anniversary divorce situation, 1, 2, 3 divorce, was a plan. That was a plan. Cameron said that he was forced to do it. I don't believe that. Cameron, you're the one that moved out. You were the one that moved out. So why would Claire have to force you to have to want to say anything. We saw the way that you were like, yeah, it's not going to work. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. We saw you do that. So why are we to believe that she forced you to do that? That doesn't even make sense. After all of this, of Cameron saying that she was manipulative and she didn't like him and all of this, now Cameron is saying, hey, I'm willing to start fresh and let's try again. You feel this woman is manipulative. You feel that this woman planned and forced you to do everything. You said that she didn't care that you were in the hospital. She didn't try to come visit you. She would cancel on you. You feel that you said that she made that she doesn't care about religion, that she made this whole religion thing up, but you want to be with her. You want to start fresh. Okay. She said that if he actually meant that and that if he loved her and all this other stuff, he wouldn't have treated her bad the way that he did. She feels that if strategy and manipulation were not into play, they could have worked, but she doesn't trust him. He wants to know how he can gain back trust. But and y'all still think that Cameron is not lying? This is a form of manipulation and gaslighting right here. Because let me tell you this: if Clara were to say, "Yeah, let's try again," I guarantee y'all, by the time they get to the "Where Are They Now?" It's a little situation show after the altar, whatever it's called. By the time we were to get to that, he will be saying that she was a terrible person that's coming to earth, and he will call her everything but a child of God. Austin and Becca. She cannot differentiate between what is real and what wasn't. She said that they had a pact that it was us against everything else. That's not a pact, sis. That's marriage. So did y'all have a plan or not? Because it sounds like y'all had a plan, and Becca, you caught feelings. She said that it took effort for him to be lovey-dovey with her. He said that all the filming days took effort. I mean, we have that. We have, the cameras are there. We have work. Yes. Like Kevin said, these are all things that you signed up for. I'm sorry, but I never, and I mean never, feel bad for people that get on reality TV and then want to talk about how stressed they are and how it was so hard filming all these days. What did y'all think it was going to be? She said that he, Austin, wanted to pretend that things were normal on camera, even if they weren't. Even if they weren't. He said no. I just wanted us to talk, if there was an issue, let's talk about it on camera. Austin, that's a lie. We watched the show. We saw her have to beg and prod and pull and do everything possible to try to get conversation out of you for it to go nowhere. We saw the show. Austin then said that he was not avoiding intimacy. He said that the sexual connection that he had was not at the same rate as hers. Kevin clocked him and said, well, there was no rate at all. You didn't have it. Austin apparently has a 3 to 6 month rule about sex. He then goes on to say that's not necessarily true. He said Keisha asked, so I gave her a time frame. Becca said, I asked you too, and you wouldn't give me a time frame. I want Austin to just be real. You don't like her. You were not attracted to her. You had no desire to be sexually intimate with her. And I feel like if he would have just said that, we could have gotten a lot further. Y'all could have talked about it. But the fact that you gaslit her unnecessarily. You did keep telling her that you're working on it. You're trying to get there. And like she said, if I would have known that you had a time frame, if you had the Joan Clayton 3-month rule, I wouldn't have pressured you. But Becca, you shouldn't have been pressuring him anyways. This man told you he wasn't ready. So the fact that every couple of days you would ask him, "You ready to fuck? You ready to fuck? You ready to fuck? You ready to fuck?" Where was your shame? Girl, you was throwing it at him and he was pushing you away. My God. How are you not embarrassed? How are you not ashamed? She said that they were hugging one day, fully clothed in the kitchen while cooking dinner, and he pushed her away and said, "Get off me, horny girl." I hollered. Not because it's funny, because it's like, Becca. Girl, that would have been my last time touching Austin. We fully clothed. Girl, did you grab him? Did you grab his love below? Like, why did he push you off? I feel like we're not getting a complete story. But if you were simply hugging and that man pushed you off, then my God, today, okay? Wowza. He then said that, or she tells him, intimacy is not just sex, and it's not. He then said, "Well, we had emotional intimacy." He said, "We hugged, we kissed, we would cuddle. We did other things in the bedroom." What else were y'all doing in the bedroom? Was she tapping you off? Hmm? Was she tapping you off? It must have been. You must have been receiving and not giving, because she's the one that was sexually frustrated. Have some respect for yourself, Becca. Why are you going down on him if he can't even kiss you on camera? He then said that whenever they would get closer to where he would want to, have sex, that there would be a wedge between them. And for him, that wedge would be the constant barrage of questions asking, when are they going to be intimate? I wholeheartedly agree with that. I'm going to say this. The fact that Dr. Pia and Pastor Cow always stress so heavily for these couples to lay it low and spray it wide is like, why? I get it, right? Married couples have sex, okay? But this is a different set of circumstances. And if these people do not want to have sex, if they're not having sex after 2 or 3 weeks, what is the difference? Oh, I forgot. The difference is that if you consummate your marriage, you can't have an annulment. You have to get a divorce. I believe that. I do think that that did more harm than good. But at the end of the day, Austin was never going to sleep with her. Why? He's not physically attracted to her. He's not sexually attracted to her to where he wants to lay down with Becca. And it's like, damn, Becca, what more did he have to do besides hold up a sign that said, "I don't want to fuck you"? But I digress. She said that for her, the wedge was when he hung out with the producer and didn't tell her. Now, Kevin Frazier was like, "But that was after the season." So, Becca, you're lying. That was more of your final nail in the coffin. So, Becca said that this producer was a point of contention with them. So maybe there was some flirting. There might have been some flirting with the producer. There was something going on with production, that particular producer, that Becca was uncomfortable with the nature of producer lady and Austin's relationship. Austin said, "Well, we went out to celebrate the decision day." I said, "Not you going out to celebrate staying married to your wife with the ops?" So you went out to celebrate. I just want to get this straight. Maybe I'm missing something. Y'all clarify for me, please. But you went out to celebrate decision day. You went out to celebrate staying married to your wife with Brennan and then the production heifer that your wife had an issue with. Then, when asked about it, you lied. Austin said he didn't think it was a big deal. Nigga, why? Why wouldn't it be a big deal? So then he was like, "No, okay, I don't know. I don't know, because Austin can't think of a lie quick enough. This is why you don't lie. You simply tell the truth." Becca then said that Austin's plan was the entire time was just to get through this and say yes no matter what, and then they would figure things out after decision day. Austin said, "No, I just said that we would have a wedding with all our friends and family there." Austin, that does not answer the accusation that she said. It doesn't. Was your plan to say yes no matter what? That's the answer. Austin did not answer this because I think that that was Austin's plan the entire time. Becca then said that Austin was not ready to be married to a woman like her. Sis, okay, you weren't ready to be married to a man like him either, Becca. This is not solely on Austin. It's not. She feels that Austin never made her a priority. He did not. But then she also said Austin needs to grow up. Becca, so do you. So do you. While Austin is a big catalyst for the demise of this relationship, you are not innocent. You are by no means a victim. You are not without fault. You just aren't. You are without fault you are with fault as well. She feels that she feels that she herself was just never right for him, and she wants him to just finally admit it so she can get some relief. He still maintains that he wanted this to work and he just didn't do a good job at it. You didn't do a job at it. Not a good one. You just didn't do a job at it. Let's be real, Austin. You didn't try. You didn't, sweetheart, and that's okay. And I feel like if Austin and Brennan were to just be honest with Becca and Emily and say, I don't like you. I wasn't attracted to you. Because I wasn't attracted to you, I just kind of lost interest, and I apologize for how I took out my lack of attraction on you. A lot of this could have been avoided, and we wouldn't be watching this very, very painful reunion. We wouldn't. Austin feels like his honesty is being questioned. Kevin was like, "Look, I'm not just reading questions off these cards. I watched the show. I'm a part of the process. So the reason I'm asking you is to give you the floor to put stuff out on the table. I'm giving you the opportunity to clear your name and address things." And all Austin could say was, "Thanks for the opportunity." See, Austin knows that he was not truthful through this process. Then we see that Austin goes and he's hugging Becca in the ladies' dressing room, and he's sitting up there crying. What are you crying for? Oh, he's crying because he knows that he has not been truthful. Austin knows he messed up. Austin knows he was a part of whatever scheme the guys came up with or the ladies came up with, whoever started the scheme. And he probably went along with something he didn't want to, and it backfired. It backfired. Austin, you looked absolutely terrible on this show. You looked absolutely terrible on this show. Oh, good God. So then we get Chloe and Michael. She wanted to hear from Michael that he wanted to stay. He wanted her to stay when they first got back. So remember when they first got back, she went home with her dogs. She wanted Michael to say, "No, I want you to stay," because she knew, or she had her doubts, if he was fully invested in the marriage in the first place. She said there was that. She does not think he came in for the right reasons. While I do think that Michael is an amazing person, I don't think that Michael came into that second marriage for the right reasons. I don't. I think that Michael kind of knew that he would be like the murder of the season. He knew that he would be the biggest victim because of what happened with the person, the young lady that stood him up. So I think that Michael was like, "I'm going to go into this and I'm going to just see what happens. And if it doesn't work, I guess I can just do it. I can just, can always say no." And I feel like Chloe did not get a fair shake at this because Michael was not 100% in. I think Michael had FOMO from all the other couples hanging out and doing all of this and getting their wives. And I feel like Michael said, "I got cheated out of this process. I'm going to cheat somebody else out of theirs." It seemed very tit for tat for me. Michael never seemed fully into Chloe. Ever. Ever. She said that on the wedding night when they were in the car and she asked, "So, what's my new last name?" He told her, "You won't need to change it. Don't even worry about it." She said she knew then that, oh, he might not be serious about this. She then said the fact that he did not tell his mom about this. And she's like, "Yeah, I understand that, because I guess he must have kept telling her it's cultural, it's cultural." And she's like, "Yeah, fully understand, wholeheartedly understand. It could be cultural, but just because your family might be traumatized does not mean you hide your wife. You tell them that you're married." And I have to agree with that. Why would you, if you are fully committed to this marriage and you like your wife and you think that your marriage is going to work with your wife, why wouldn't you tell your mom? If your mom is disappointed, she's disappointed. It's not the first time you've disappointed her, and it won't be the last time. It sounds harsh, but it's real. As adults, we cannot live solely for our parents. So if Michael was truly, truly into this marriage with Chloe and he was fully invested in making this work and being committed to it, he would have told his mom, "Hey, I went through the process again, but I found this really great girl. I have a really good feeling about this, and I would love for you to meet her, even if it's just on FaceTime." Michael didn't do that. Michael then said, "You know what? Let's clear up the name thing. I don't remember it that way." He told her what the last name would be. I don't remember, sorry. Um, and told her that she did not have to hyphenate if she did not want to. She did not have to take his last name. He said that's how he remembered it. She said that's not true. He then tells her that he did tell his family, just not his mom. He then goes on to say if she would have gave a little pushback about it, we would have had a conversation, but I probably still wouldn't have like it is like, what are we talking about, Michael? If you had no intention on telling your mom, no matter how she feel about it or what she said about it, why even bring it up? That doesn't make sense. You didn't want to tell your mom because you were not fully invested in this marriage. You weren't. He said his mom had her reservations and she didn't support his decision. But you did it anyways, so what difference does it make? You did it anyways. So you didn't care if your mom supported your decision or not. You knew that you were going to do it. Michael said that doubt crept in before the 1 month mark. And then he's like, "I don't know how to articulate the issue." And Chloe was like, "Look, don't beat around the bush. If you're going to say it, say it. Just say what the problem is." I don't understand this season, the cast, their sole thing where these men are like, we just want to protect you. We don't want to say this. We don't want to say that. To me, that's a cop out, right? To me, that's a cop out from you just not wanting to, you just being too cowardly to say it. If you're not attracted to somebody, there is nothing wrong with saying, I'm sorry, but I'm just not attracted to you. It has happened on this show before. It will happen on this show again. So Michael said it was not one specific thing, and it was really not about Chloe. He said he didn't want to try because for the marriage because he did not feel that they had built a strong enough foundation. Chloe feels that Michael came into this committed enough for the process, but not committed enough to have a marriage, and I agree. I think Michael felt cheated out of the process, not cheated out of a marriage. The fact that he was cheated out of the process, he was going to get his process no matter what. By any means possible, Michael was going to have his process. And I just think it's lame to do it that way when you knew you weren't committed to her. I just think that's foul. Chloe then goes on to say, Michael goes on to say that he regrets not talking to her about, feeling like they didn't have a solid enough foundation. And he regrets saying no at the altar and not giving it a try. Chloe doesn't want a second chance. She does not have a regret. She said that they had two different levels of commitment. She came into this committed and ready for a marriage, and he did not. She said that that was the universe's way of telling her this ain't the man for you, so we're gonna move him on out the way. I wish Chloe all the best. She seems the most genuine on the show. She does. All the ladies come out, and I was so over this, I barely listened. But basically, Claire said that the ladies were not being truthful in their core selves because they went along with the men. Emily said this started with the guys' maturity level and feels that the women all had the correct mindset. No, no, no. The way that half of y'all women admitted to going along with this stupid ass plan to beat the system shows that y'all don't have the maturity. It shows that y'all didn't have the correct mindset either. The fact that y'all are still belaboring over this shows that y'all did not have the correct mindset. They feel that the men all got together and planned not to have sex. Emily feels that all her accidents were the universe's way of trying to get her away from Brennan. But your fool ass stayed. But you stayed. From the hair to the wrist to falling off and damn near cracking your head wide open, you still stayed, Emily. You stayed. Even though you kept telling us you were scared to do this and he was this awful, your fool ass still stayed. So what are we really talking about here? What are we really talking about? I just feel like the ladies have to take some accountability for their part in the demise of their relationships, for their part in how all of this played out. Y'all agreed that y'all were a part of a plan to dupe the process. Y'all caught feelings and the guys never did. That's the issue. Finally, we get Emily and Brennan. Oh, good God. So Emily and Brennan come out, okay? As they're walking out, she's giving him the finger. Now, who's immature? Who's immature? Who's childish? So Brennan said that they were just not a match for each other. He said that he did not trust the process because he felt that they were not matched correctly. Thus and such, because he did not trust the process, he didn't start the process. So that tells us that from day one, or maybe day 2 or 3 of the honeymoon, once Brennan started to see the real Emily, okay, when the representatives came off, he didn't like what he saw. He felt that he was duped. He felt that he didn't get what he wanted. So he no longer was interested in the process. And instead of him being man enough to say it, he instead chose to manipulate her and lie to her and gaslight her into thinking that he did like her, which is all but what she has been saying. But Emily, you have to take some ownership in this as well. This man all but said to you, I don't like you, bitch. He all but said that to you time and time and time again, and you chose to stay in this relationship. I don't understand. I am confusion. He said Emily is a great person, just not right for him. Emily's offended by that. Girl, why? Everything ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't for everything. She said that he will punish her if she didn't do or say what he wanted on camera. By punishing, she said he would yell or he would go home. When he was pleased with what she did, they would go to lunch and he would stay the night. Brennan said that he was too concerned about him being on, or Brennan said he was so concerned about the way that she would feel if he was honest about what he felt about her, how he felt about her. We then get some playback of how he completely disrespected Dr. Pia. He is trying to apologize, and Emily keeps jumping in. Can you see how you're controlling? Can you see how you're controlling, Emily? Can you see how you're annoying? Can you see how you're annoying? Yes, he's controlling, but you're annoying. Don't pipe up and be all about bumping the gums now when you sat like a mute and let him do it to you. It's very hard to feel bad for you in the way that, like, and be on your side at the reunion when you willingly sat and was a participant. You were a willing participant in this circus. Don't bump the gums now because I don't care. So he then said that he just misread the intent of therapy. He's never been to therapy before, so he didn't know. He thought that Dr. Pia was just trying to rehash the issues they had moved on from. But Brennan, y'all had not moved on from those issues. So I don't know why you thought you had. She said that he was more so protecting himself and not her. I agree with that. I think Brennan did not want to come across as a rude person. He didn't want to be the guy that told the girl in that one TV show a couple years ago that he did not like her. That's what Brennan was concerned about. So instead of him being honest about it, he chose to gaslight her and make her feel like she's crazy. Make her feel like she's doing something wrong. But when she would talk about her true feelings, we know that he would ask her, hey, go ahead and delete that so that this doesn't get out to the public. She kept saying, well, why can't you just tell me what the issue was? He said that he wasn't raised to hurt people. Gaslighting people is hurting people, Brennan. She feels he manipulated her. He said that he's confused as to how she has all these terrible things to say about him now. When they were with Pastor Cal, she listed over 10 things that she liked about him. He said that Emily changed after the accident. He then said that it was a rumor that he was trying to go on that double date with Cameron. She said, oh, there are rumors with an S. And he was like, what rumor? And then she smirks as to be like, you really want to go there? I think these are all awful people. I think this was a terrible reunion. Again, I feel that as a fan, this was disgusting to find out that everything was so manipulated. Shame on you, Lifetime. Shame on you, Kinetic Content, for putting this out. Shame on each and every cast member that participated in this, because we could have saved this season. We could have saved 23 weeks of our life. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. I'll catch y'all next week for part 2. Peace.